A Halfling Sonder, Sven's Story, by Illyria Valischin. Tossing the wood onto the ground, Sven kneels down in the grass, panting. He cautiously looks around to see if anyone had heard or seen what had just happened, but is surprised that the town is quite normal, all except the back of Kurp's shack and what was once his belongings. Those things have taken the brunt of the ringing sound's damage. The furniture inside, along with the wall, are destroyed. Everything is a mere shambles as he looks about the wreckage. Grabbing his ears as they are still ringing violently, he manages to stumble his way through to the remnants of a bed. Laying down, he takes the time, just waiting for his hearing to come back. This allows for the last bits of the sun to kiss the night sky before the eerie quietness of the town engulfs him. Staying there for a few moments more, wishing not to move until the crickets chirping in the night air can be heard, he ponders over the entire day. Had he missed something out there in the cove? Was he being followed? Had it been a futile effort to try and find Kurp? Sitting up and realizing that the only way to answer those questions is to take another look at the tube and the pieces strewn about. A low hum begins to come from the pieces as he gathers them up into a pile. "Why can't you just shut up and give me back my friend?" A small pout crosses over his face. They give off a slight reddish light in response to the question, pulsing the light towards a little path by the bushes, leading down past the edges of town. Some of them even start to rustle. "Where did that stupid thing go?" a low, raspy voice says in frustration. Sven looks down at the pile and back in the direction of the voice. Quickly, he tries to cover up the pieces to quiet their sound, before trying to hide himself in the overgrowth of the yard. The bushes closer to the shack begin to move about as a tall figure of a male halfling steps forward. The halfling heads straight towards the shack. Fearing he might be discovered, Sven ducks down lower and almost holds his breath, watching. The overwhelming smell of fish guts and pig vomit engulfs his nose, causing him to gag, almost giving away his hiding place. Quickly he covers up his mouth as his stomach threatens to retch. The strange halfling shuffles about the area looking for something, only to let out a little curse of frustration, unable to find whatever it is that brought him to Kurp's shack. Eventually, the halfling gives up and heads back the same way he had come. Grabbing the tube pieces, Sven shoves them into his pack and heads off after the halfling. Following at a safe distance, he watches as the halfling walks straight off one of the docks in the harbor, then swims straight out to one of the buoys, not wanting to miss any chance that he might have in finding what has happened to Kurp. Sven rushes under the dock and wades out into the water. Trying his best not to be seen or heard, the halfling reaches the first buoy, then makes a sharp turn heading straight out towards the cove, where the other buoy had been placed, the same one that Sven now carries in his pack. Following along, he changes direction, following the other halfling's path, making sure not to bring about any attention to himself. Continuing on into the cove, he uses one of the bigger rocks as a hiding place, then glances out to find where the other halfling is swimming. Noticing that he keeps pausing every so often, he's definitely looking for something. Sven mutters to himself. The halfling starts to let loose some frustrated curses into the empty cove. Feeling a bit more confident that he has not been spotted, Sven decides to swim out to a further rock, in hopes of getting a better view of the person swimming and maybe even spot what he is looking for. However, while swimming out, the pieces of the tube begin to hum again. A feeling of panic sets in, as Sven realizes the halfling has stopped looking around and is now heading straight for him. He grabs the pack and tries hard to smother the sound under the water, only to have the pieces start lighting up red and green. With this new struggle to stay hidden, Sven loses sight of the halfling completely. In a last-ditch effort to not be seen, he dives down to the floor trying to shove the pieces down. In doing this, he also goes about kicking up dirt, making it nearly impossible to see anything. A surge of adrenaline fills him, as he is unsure where the other halfling has gone now. Giving one last clamp down onto the pieces, trying to keep it hidden, Sven then suddenly finds himself being shot up into the air, high above the tree line. The cold whistling of the air passing over him as he looks to the land that lays before him. While gazing out, he sees the entire town and off to the side, a small camp in the woods. Thank you for listening to my story. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.